Both teams trying to keep their playoff hopes alive.
No question. I think
the 18 left side, left-footed effort goes off.
a good block, and now Colorado another chance to capitalize on a set piece.
Ronan backs away from
Yankees, the guy with the play was Harry Frazee with no net. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
But here's the thing: if I get what you're saying about Moreno, and if he thinks he's not going to get outbid, that's fine. You still may
both teams scoreless going into the locker room. I thought Philadelphia Union have done their job here on the road, given the rotations tonight, among them keeping Hani Mukhtar well away from the Union goal of Bendik.
While they gave up some early chances, I think that they did a good job of following their game plan, staying tight, keeping their lines compact, and then looking to hit Nashville off the counter. I think they've been able to find some chances, and they've been way more dangerous than we've seen in the past two road games. So look for that to continue. We'll see what they bring off the bench to continue to keep that pressure on Nashville. It's important that they look for the second goal while doing a good job to not concede tonight.
For sure. As we go to the highlight, Shane, into the second minute, Bunbury had a chance that just went wide as he tried to go behind his back, over his leg, wide of Bendik. But we start the highlights in the 10th minute on the opposite end of the field, closer to us. Young Quinn Sullivan with a chance that rang off iron for the Union. Bueno has it, splitting two, coughed it right over to Shaq Moore, linking up with Dax McCarty. Gazdag gets a touch on that to keep it towards the midway line. It does to Quinn Sullivan. Sullivan, 5 yards in front of him, 40 yards away from the Nashville goal. Keeps his head up. Bedoya links up here with Gazdag. Places off of Dax. Caroms over to Quinn Sullivan with the shot off the post from Quinn Sullivan from 25 yards away. In the 10th minute, Sullivan went at goal to the right of Bendick. And that time he missed it and went off the iron there. And Willis will love that.
I think Quinn Sullivan's been lively in this first half. Somebody that's trying to seize his opportunity as he hasn't gotten many minutes, and he also hasn't gotten many starts. So doing a good job to be lively, be dangerous. We've seen him take 2 shots, which is as many as the Union had on target all last game. So a good first half from Quinn Sullivan. We'll see how far he gets into the second half. I think that they'll at some point bring Ua on, but he's been dangerous in the Nashville defensive third.
3 minutes later, McDawn had a chance on a scissors kick there, but missed. And then 6 minutes later from the Sullivan one off iron, Teal Bunbury with an open goal, but out came Joe Bendick, who thankfully saw this go over the ball from Bunbury. Gazdag gets it, about 50 yards away for the Willis goal, tackled by Davis. Schaffelberg tried to toe poke that forward. He ultimately could not. Glessis was in his way. Gary Smith has the foul called. Schaffelberg plays it quick, catching the Union off guard. It's a 2v1. Mokhtar plays it to Bunbury. Out comes Bendick. It goes high from Teal Bunbury as Bendick came out above his 6. And Bunbury sails that into the crowd. And the Union dodge a huge one here in the 16th minute.
Nashville trying to catch the Union sleeping as they play Mukhtar in behind off a quick set piece, who plays it across to Bunbury. And Joe Bendick does, I think, a good job of coming out, staying big, and forcing a tough shot from Bunbury, who sails it over the bar.
Then in the run-up play, Daniel Lovitz pushed on Daniel Gazdag inside the penalty box, and it was called a penalty by Sergei Boyko, our match referee. And after the check on the headset, officially not a video review towards the monitor, but everything is checked, it was given a penalty for the Union. And Daniel Gazdag, who's been perfect this year, steps up for the penalty against Joe Willis. Joe Willis, Gazdag with the penalty, trying to give the Union the 1-0 lead. A 2-step approach, slots it to the left of Willis, who dove and guessed wrong to his right. A perfect season for Daniel Gazdag from the penalty spot and gets the first goal on the road. 1-0 Philadelphia Union, thanks to Gazdag lacing home that penalty.
The Union continue to put pressure on Nashville, and they get a penalty for their efforts. Gazdag does a good job to step up, and I'm going to have to ask him what he's looking for on these PKs because he makes it look so easy. And for the people at home, it's not easy to step up, especially when you've taken so many and there's so many notes on which way you've gone and when you've gone there and the percentages. So he does a good job to stay calm. We saw Nashville try to ice him a little bit, but it doesn't matter to him. He's always confident and ready to step up whenever that time comes.
Philadelphia Union winning 1-0 over Nashville as seen here at halftime. We'll step aside, run down first half numbers and scores around week 25 when we come back. You're listening to Philadelphia Union Soccer on 97.5 The Fanatic.
You're listening to the Union Radio Network.
Need a little peace and quiet?
As low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Want to level up your NFL
NFL betting game? VSiN's early NFL betting guide is here to give you the competitive edge for the football season. Check out our comprehensive team profiles, key stats, power ratings, best bets, and insightful expert analysis. And don't forget our exclusive betting systems and strategies, tailored to improve your skills and elevate your game. Spend your summer becoming a sharper NFL bettor. Subscribe now and become a VSiN Pro at VSiN.com and join the Sports Betting Network. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today, and for just $175, VSiN will be there to help you all the way through the Super Bowl. You'll get our brand new NFL betting guide and our college football betting guide due out August 3rd. You'll also have access to betting tools, daily articles, power rankings, pro picks, and so much more every day of the football season. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today at VSiN.com/subscribe and take advantage of this limited time offer.
Introducing ClutchBet, Colorado's only sports betting app offering bet insurance up to $50 when you bet the over at Colorado's.
And Arango plays the ball through up the right-hand side, and the ball is placed calmly into the back of the net for RSL. And just like that, they have pulled one back here. Danny.
Now that's what I call privacy. Brought to you by Digital Letters.
Suggesting digital letters for our digital communication was brilliant, Peterson.
Oh, thanks, boss.
Digital Letters lets me...
Brody with the ball. Brody in the attacking half to Chicho. Chicho around one defender. Heavy touch. Gets away from a little bit. Second center back comes over and clears it. Held in by RSL to Oviedo. Oviedo. 20 yards from the corner flag near side. Back to Brody. Brody to Ruiz in the middle of the field. Ruiz to Ojeda. Ojeda tries to slot a ball through. Takes a heavy deflection into the 18. And McIntosh gets it before it goes out. McIntosh now, 93-30 into the final 30 seconds, getting very close to splitting the points in Kansas City. One last chance for KC to get forward. McIntosh just crushes it. And Justin Glad heads it down. It drops at his feet. He takes one step. He stumbles, loses the ball. Kansas City digs it out. But the ball goes right to a McAnally there behind Justin to clean things up to the near side. A ball ahead for Anderson Julio. He pulls up. There's the whistle, and it's all over. Anderson Julio pulls the jersey over his head. He's not thinking about the second goal that tied this game and earned RSL a point. He's thinking about the second breakaway opportunity that was saved that could have been the game winner. But RSL, down 2 goals at halftime on the road, rallies. The win streak on the road ends at 4 in a row. The unbeaten streak goes to 11 in a row. RSL picks up a 34th point on the year. They're unbeaten in the last 11 on the road, unbeaten in the last 9 overall, and coming home to face a New York Red Bull team on Saturday night that had a catastrophic collapse at the end at home. They
side of things, and oh, by the way, the back line with another goalless allowed in terms of the defense, I should say, for the first 45 minutes. We're back with the first half stats coming up after this on WLS AM 890.
You would think that by now everyone would know that impaired driving is an astronomically bad idea. But here we are, telling you yet again. So here's a checklist some might find helpful. Are you high? Then puff pass the keys to a sober driver. Are you buzzed? Call shot.
Don't forget to purchase your 50-50 raffle tickets for tonight's match, with proceeds benefiting the Chicago Fire Foundation's Plays program. Sales end at the end of the 80th minute, and the winner will be posted on the site end of the match. Visit fire5050.com now to purchase your tickets, and it's just about a handful of minutes away from restarting this game in the second half. It's 3-0 Chicago, and we will get you the halftime stats here, which are presented by Whittrust. And Gazelle, as we look at this, we got 4 shots total for Chicago, all on target. For Montreal, they've had 7 but none of them on target. 2 blocked, 5 were off the mark, even though Montreal has just about 65% possession to 35% for Chicago, which I don't think is surprising given the scoreline. You knew with the 2 goals early, Montreal would probably control things, but anything really stand out to you statistically about this first half?
Yeah, I think that we can talk about. We knew that Montreal is a team that is going to want possession, and the Fire being very comfortable with not having the ball, sticking to that game plan. Very, very good block defensively, mid to low block with a lot of numbers in the middle, making it difficult for Montreal to find passing lanes, to find players in between lines. Mostly Montreal has had to go and use the width, but other than that, like we talked about, a lot of the shots are being from outside the box, not a lot of danger created.
And you think about, where the possession is right now. Possession in the grand scheme of things by the end of this contest may not be all that important of a number because you probably expect Montreal to probably go out and have a bulk of it again in the second half. The key for Chicago is to keep them off a scoring ledger.
Correct. And I think the Fire is going to be, and he looks very, very comfortable playing in that style and definitely has had more opportunities, right, to take advantage and to even increase the score. And it's going to be even more, I'm sure, in this second half. But now it's important, right? And I'm sure that Frank has told the players, listen, we have done a great job, but the job is not done, right? We still have 45 minutes. You got to stay focused. You got to stay positive. And
Clinical trials. We'll do whatever it takes to help our patients face and overcome lung cancer. Learn more at mdandersonlungcancer.com.
Hey, soccer fans, Glenn Davis here. Thank you for supporting Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5, brought to you by presenting sponsor, the Daspit Law Firm. Don't forget, join me for the best in soccer talk and football talk weekly on ESPN 97.5.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase to save big at the pump. The Kroger Plus card. All you do is win big, big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. With the Kroger app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you get in our stores. So start your cart today. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Our priorities, they've changed.
Hey, Lexus, play my music.
It's not just about getting ahead or the constant grind. It's about knowing what you want.
Watch for traffic.
And focusing on what matters. Welcome to the next level. This is the Lexus NX. With intuitive tech and our most advanced safety system ever.
This is the Houston Dynamo FC postgame show on ESPN 97.5. Here's Glenn Davis and Bobby Boswell.
Well, it's not the night you wanted here at Shell Energy Stadium as we look down on the field. Hector Herrera and Emmanuel Reynoso in conversation here, giving each other a hug after this one. In the end, it is Reynoso who comes up with the key plays here today for Minnesota, at least 2 of them. And Herrera again pushing the envelope for the Houston Dynamo. Glenn Davis, Bobby Boswell, ESPN 97.5 ends a 3-0 victory. And the goals tonight scored starting in the 15th minute here, Longwane. And, of course, Bobby, you and I talk much about the obvious that Minnesota United would come in here, defend deep, not really want the ball, and look for these transitional moments.
Yeah, they were excellent at withstanding the Dynamo pressure. The Dynamo had a couple of really good chances early on in terms of moving the ball around the box, but they didn't lead to anything. And then, coming the other way, it didn't take much. It was just a bit of a missed clearance that fell to Longwane, and he was very classy in how he finished it.
Well, here's what it sounded like. Let's go to the 15th minute. This makes it 1-0 Minnesota United. It's a whipped-in cross. It's parried away by Clark. A hit here from Dotson. Oh, they lay it down and put it in. Spectacular goal. It's the leading goal scorer, Longwane, and Minnesota United, just like that, after being dominated here, will take a 1-0 tactical advantage leading goal.
The reason that goal was so important, Glenn, was we talked about not giving up the first goal because then it allows them to sit back and really counterattack the rest of the game, and that really did become the story of the game after it.
Teemu Pukki coming over from Norwich City in the Premier League. We mentioned that a lot here tonight, but he is a sophisticated, polished goal scorer. He makes it 2-0 in his debut as a starter in the 20th minute. Pukki is left wide open. Reynoso has found him. It's a one-on-one with Clark, and Pukki's going to finish. That is Premier League finishing. Teemu Pukki has made it 2-0. The Dynamo fall asleep.
We keyed in on Emmanuel Reynoso, and he had a world-class turn there on Mikael, and Steres was a little bit deeper than Spiachenko, and Pukki, being the classy forward that he is, knew there was a ton of space and just basically dribbled that right into the box and put it right in the side netting. Is classy and, like he'd done it a million times before.
2-0 at halftime. The Houston Dynamo needed the game's next goal. They come close. Soundbite number 6, Artur. Big save from Dane St. Clair. He's got Franco. Has to go back on his right. Comes out to Bassi. Herrera has set up Artur. Shot and a big save. Well, that was ticketed for the lower corner. A great hit from Artur, but an equally good save from St. Clair.
With that many guys behind the ball, the only place that there was space was to drop the ball back, and Artur was given a great ball by Hector Herrera, and unfortunately he just couldn't put it in the net. St. Clair made a pretty good save on that as well.
That was in the 52nd minute. You score there, and the game might become a little bit different. Daniel Steres gets an opportunity in the 58th. He gets picked out by Aliou. Aliou crosses block. Steres over the top. Maybe an unlikely source to be inside the penalty area wide open. Steres has scored earlier in the year. Aliou with the work here.
The Dynamo probably had more crosses tonight than any game they've played this year. It's unfortunate for them, though. They weren't able to get a goal, and part of that was just their inability to hit the target when they were in front of the goal.
Minnesota cap it in the 87th minute. It's in transition. Ismail Tajori Shradi would get his 29th career goal, and this would make it game, set, and match. Garcia, ball. Longwane has made a good run to his left. Longwane to get a third here. It's a big, big save. Second ball is stuffed in. The rebound goes in.
And part of the master plan for Adrian Heath's side was to sit back and then counter and be effective on the counter. And that last play was just several players making the right decision. Steve Clark came up with a big save, but Tajuri Shradi with fresh legs was the first guy to react and score the final nail in the coffin.
All right, some of the full-time stats here tonight. Dynamo 24 shots to 8, 6 on target to 4, 72% of the possession to 27, 29 crosses. Now, when I look at 29 crosses, I say how many of those to you seem dangerous and how many put Minnesota United under duress?
I would say that Hector Herrera's crosses, there were several from a deep lying position, meaning he wasn't at the end line and crossing them in. I think that was a way to be effective against this back line. They had 7 guys in a straight line as the game went on. So if you get to the end line, you try to cross it, there's just so many guys in there. And some of those guys, like Michael Boxall, are just so excellent in the air. You're never going to get the ball away from him in this league. So I think they were ineffective in a lot of the crosses, but I'd say Hector had some bright spots, and the Dynamo.
Orthopedics provides exceptional care when and where you need it. Get back in the game. Call Premier Orthopedics today at 1-855-ORTHO-24 or visit PremierOrtho.com. Premier Orthopedics is the official orthopedics and physical therapy partner of the Philadelphia Union.
How do we create hope for a cleaner planet? Together. We see you conscious carpooling and weekend beach cleaning. All who've long gone green and all taking their first steps. We see you doing your part for the planet every day. And Green Mountain Energy is here to power everything you do with 100% renewable wind and solar energy. So join us. For the love of the planet, and for the hope inspired by everything on it. Green Mountain Energy. Light the future. PUCT 10009.
Union win, you win. Visit Harris Philadelphia the day after a Philadelphia Union victory and get 2-for-1 fresh baked pizzas. Then keep the winning going with a 2x reward credit multiplier while playing your favorite slots or table games. That's 2-for-1 pizzas and 2x comp dollar earning. Union win, you win. Only at Harris Philadelphia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 and older to gamble.
Hi, it's Brian Boucher, and let me tell you about my friend Mario and his team at Great Railing. When your deck or railing project is in crunch time, there's only one place to go. In one trip to Great Railing, you'll find everything for the whole project from start to finish in stock. They have a huge selection of highest quality products at a fraction of the cost. I know firsthand the money you will save on your project. For quality products and everyday great pricing, do what I did and call Mario at Great Railing. Call 856-875-0050 or log on to greatrailing.com.
The SEPTA Transit Police Department is hiring experienced officers and entry-level new recruits. Apply today to join the department that keeps one of the largest transit systems in the country safe and comfortable for all who ride. There is no residency requirement and salaries start at $56,000. Benefits include tuition reimbursement, the opportunity to rotate through specialized units, and a dynamic and supportive working environment. Build your career in law enforcement with SEPTA. Learn more and apply today at jobs.septa.org.
Whether it's a weekend staycation, intimate getaway, or you just want to spoil yourself and a loved one, discover Sofitel Philadelphia at Rittenhouse Square, a luxury resort with a perfect blend of French elegance and American style, ideally located in the city of brotherly love. Each Sofitel draws inspiration from local culture and tradition while celebrating innovation and the French art de vivre to offer a one-of-a-kind luxurious hotel experience. From design details to exhibitions and events, discover what makes our hotel so unique. Plan your Philadelphia getaway now, and for the lowest rate anywhere, book directly with Sofitel at SofitelPhiladelphia.com. You're listening to the Union Radio Network.
A final tonight from Geodis Park in Nashville, Tennessee. The Philadelphia Union get their 11th league win. They go to fourth place in the East thanks to a 2-0 victory over Nashville SC, who only loses, Shannon, for the second time this year. The last loss, go all the way back, my friend, to March 25th, 1-0 to FC Cincinnati. Shannon, what an exhilarating game we called, especially after the last two losses against Atlanta and LA Galaxy, where the team was outshot and outscored 5-1. Tonight, with the heavy rotation from the Union, love the game plan, getting out Mukhtar. Bueno did well, got the players up top involved early.
We saw some changes from the Union, and I think they worked out to perfection. We also saw those changes allow players to come off the bench that are normal starters for the Union from game in and game out. So I think it was a good game plan from Jim. I think that the Union got a little bit of luck. One comes off the crossbar. Fafa Pico hits the post, and there's another mad scramble. We had the PK called back, so we definitely got our money's worth tonight, and I think it was just a crazy game, to be honest with you, and one that the Union came out on top and a desperate need for 3 points after their road form lately.
You mentioned the word desperate, and I think that's a great adjective because one would say that it really was a wasted opportunity at LA Galaxy. I know it was tough. There was plane problems. They were trying to leave last Thursday, left Friday out west, lost that game 3-1, but the four teams in front of them, only one got a point last week in Columbus. So the Union consequently could have been as high as second or third, stay in six with the 3-1 loss. It put pressure into tonight, and they just got it done against a Nashville team who's coming off a shutout loss at Chicago. That's a big, big momentum boost, I think, going up for the New York City game on Saturday for this team.
Jim calls it a 6-point swing.
Yeah.
Anytime you can take away points from a team that's ahead of you and gain points yourself, it's a big win. And in a place like Nashville where they haven't lost too many games here, they haven't given up too many goals, for the Union to come in with their poor road form that we've been seeing over the last couple games and grab a 2-0 win is important for their confidence. They now have a game back home against NYCFC, and I'm sure they can't wait to get back and start to play against the teams that are going to be coming into their place where they're very good at home. So it's going to be a good final game before they head into this Leagues Cup break and have those games coming up. So they want to be rounding into form as they go into that Leagues Cup break and be in the right spot to push for that final push when that tournament ends.
All right, so let's go to the highlights, my friend. The Union went into the locker room up 1-0 thanks to the penalty converted by Daniel Gazdag. The Union were pushed inside the box back in that first half from Daniel Lovitz. Keep in mind he was on a yellow going to halftime. Gazdag slotted it past Joe Willis, gave the Union the 1-0 lead. Okay, we go to the second half, where this is where all the wild, turbulent times occurred. We begin the second half highlights in the 52nd minute from the reigning MVP, Hani Mukhtar, looking for the equalizer, but went off the bar. Mukhtar chipping Bendick off the crossbar. Second ball, Schaffelberg cleared out by Glesnes and cleared away by Big Jacob. Hani Mukhtar rings iron off the crossbar there for Nashville. 52nd minute.
And one of the few times that Mukhtar was able to get in behind that Union defense, looks to chip Joe and just can't get it down under the crossbar as it dinks off the crossbar and goes out.
And probably the wildest sequence in this game came around the 69th minute, stemming from a corner from Nashville to the right of Joe Bendick. Fafa Pico with multiple opportunities after some second balls were won by Nashville, and the Union back line bailed out Joe Bendick thanks to the play at the end by Big Jack Elliott. Here comes the corner here for Mukhtar, 69th minute. 1-0 Philadelphia Union with the lead. Mukhtar, here's his approach, bangs this one in. It's a header, rings off the post. Second ball cleared away by Zimmerman, and then McGlynn is there at the tip of the D. Here's Davis, keeps it alive for Mukhtar to the upright of Bendick. Has it on his side with the shot. Bendick with the save. Clear off the line by Wagner. Second ball by Pico. Stopped again on the near post by Jack Elliott. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick with the stop. And still 1-0 Union.
An important moment for the Union as they not only get one that hits off the post, but then at the back post, get a stop by Jack, who comes up big. He does such a good job to just stay on the post and do his job. And the Union were scrambling at that point. We saw chance after chance, and they did a good job. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast, the bend but don't break. They were definitely bending at that point. You could see that things weren't going their way, and it looked like the Nashville team might get that tying goal. Jim then made some substitutions. We saw some red cards then go on from that point on. But that was a really important moment of the game, and I think a turning point in them getting a 2-0 win rather than a tie or a loss here.
I think Fafa Pico was quite the impactful player when he came in. Former Union player, scored 21 goals for the Union from 17 to 19. Comes in. He actually had in that highlight the initial header from the corner of Mukhtar. Rang, as I said, off the post. Came out from Zimmerman, and then McGlynn cleared. Then that second ball was whipped into the back post. Fafa nearly had the chance on that back post, but there was Elliott to the left of Bendick, who nearly let in a soft goal, but he gets bailed out. And you're right on. That could have made it 1-1 and that time, but ultimately Pico couldn't cash in. Elliott, a job well done towards that near post to clear it in off the end line. Important sequence in the 76th minute. Daniel Lovitz right underneath our booth here in Nashville, whipped in a corner from left to right. It faded inside and initially hit the right hand of Jack McGlynn. The referee, Sergei Poinko, pointed to the spot. It was called a penalty. But, Shannon, it went to video review, and after review, they deemed that the call would be overturned. So I'll ask you, did you like the call there, which a lot of Nashville fans did not, saying that McGlynn's hand was at a natural position, no penalty, no handball? Were you okay with that call?
I definitely was, and I think that's the reason that you have VAR. It comes off McGlynn's head and cannons off his arm that's down by his side, and I thought it would have been a tough penalty to give. Again, a big moment in the game and one that really helped the Union find their way to that second goal where they go on a quick counter and end up getting another PK.
So in the 84th minute, Daniel Lovitz pushes down Michael Ua inside the box. It is the second yellow, results in a red for Lovitz. He was out. Who takes the PK? You guessed it, our number 10, Daniel Gazdag, looking to go a perfect 11-11 and get that insurance goal for the Union. Gazdag is ready. There's the whistle from Boyko. Two-step approach, and he muscles out to the right of Willis, who barely moved. A perfect 11 of 11 for the penalty spot across all competitions for Daniel Gazdag. And importantly, it's the insurance goal for the Union. They lead 2-0 thanks to the brace from Gazdag, as fans of the supporters section are continuing to throw objects onto the field. That is disgraceful here in Nashville.
And we see it time and time again. He's so calm, cool, and collective when he steps up to the PK spot. It's not like he's firing it as hard as he can. He's literally rolling it either side, waiting for the goalkeeper to move. And that takes a lot of nerve. And again, he steps up every time, unfazed, and it's not an easy feat. He's taken so many penalties, and at this point, there's so many notes, and you know that all the keepers know where he's gone on previous penalties, and it seems like he just picks the right way every time.
And I'm going back a couple of years where guys were fighting over penalties, and I'm sure it's happened when you played too, but from Marco Fabian to Roland Olberg, Daniel Gazdag's been the PK taker. I remember Fafa Pico at times when he played for the Union and others. I think it's just great to have that designated PK taker, and you can't take the ball out of Gazdag's hands, obviously, because he's been perfect despite having Carranza and Michael Lua.
They don't even look to take it from his hands. If he's on the field, he's taking the penalties, and I think everybody on the team knows that. And again, it's automatic at this point. When you see him at that PK spot, you just know that the ball's going in, and sometimes you have those nervy moments and thinking, okay, he might miss or this, that, and the third. I think his teammates and also Jim has all the confidence in the world that when he steps up to the penalty spot, it's gonna end up in a goal.
Now, there was a moment that we didn't love to see around the 95th minute in second half stoppage time. Julian Carranza was racing forward. Jan Gregush was in his way, got tackled. Shaq Moore came into the action. Carranza went right at Gregush, and when Moore intervened, Carranza tried to throw down Shaq Moore from the right side of his body to the grass. Ultimately, Moore stood up, but then went back at and retaliated. I mean, I really don't blame him, but went back at Julian Carranza. Both players really shouldn't have done anything at each other, and it was straight reds for both Julian Carranza and Moore. From the Union's perspective, Shannon, Carranza, as a result, is suspended for the matchup. He won't play against New York City on the weekend.
And it's a poor decision by Julian, and I think he understands that as he's in the locker room. I know that the Union will be happy with the win on the road, but they have to look ahead now to an NYCFC team who's a dangerous team, and they're going to be without one of their top scorers, and that's going to be a tough moment for the Union to deal with at home. They're going to need somebody else to step up and be that talisman up top. We saw Quinn Sullivan have a good game tonight, but that's something that Julian's got to do a better job of, and just walking away. Also, teammates need to do a good job of making sure that they interject and not let that boil over, because it's a big moment in this match, and one that affects not only this match, but also the next one.
So because of that tussle, we had 14 minutes of stoppage time. Well, that and a lot more in this roller coaster of a second half probably resulted in about 16 minutes of second half stoppage time. But in the end, the Union get the clean sheet. Joe's first in a Union uniform, and the Union get the 2-0 win over Nashville. Here are the final totals tonight. Nashville outpossessed the Union 56-44. 18 shots for Nashville, 2. A meager 2 on goal. That will leave Gary Smith with a few less hairs. The Union had 10 shots, 5 on goal. The expected goal total, 3.10 for Nashville, 1.90 for the Union. 4 yellow cards on Nashville, 2 against the Union. So Nashville, reading that, had all those opportunities and just couldn't cash in. And the iron also helped out the Union tonight.
And I'm sure Nashville will be in the locker room upset about the game and the way it unfolded. They got some early chances in the game. They were able to push for that tying goal in the second half. And the woodwork and Jack McGlynn, who might as well be a post at this point, stopped them. And it just goes to show you that possession and stats don't really matter. It's when it counts, and in the big moments, do you finish goals off? And I know there was 2 penalties for the Union tonight, but in front of their own goal, you saw people diving for everything and making sure that they sacrificed bodies and were making sure that they made the blocks to get out of here with a shutout.
So the Union, Shannon, get that fourth win on the road. They snap winless in 4 away from Chester, so they go to 4-6-2 on the road, where it's been very topsy-turvy. They get their 11th league win. So they started the night in 6, part of week 25 in MLS. It was their 22nd game. They go from 6 into 4th, 1 point behind Nashville. Unfortunately for the Union, both FC Cincinnati, who came back and won 2-1 tonight, and New England won as well. Both of those teams won, so they stay. Cincinnati in 1,